All right, try this again. So, as you can see, jack stands, hood is up, which means something else is wrong. Today is Sunday. I just finished fixing the electrical issues on Friday, and I went to drive my car today, and more issues. What are we dealing with today? Drum roll, please. Clutch issues. Motherfucker. The main culprit would be the master and the slave cylinder. So, I forget which one is which, but let's look under here and see. So, that right there is one of them. You know, that's the one that controls, the clutch. That right there. So, to reach that, obviously on the outside, I gotta go to the top, go back here, and you can see it way down in there, right there. If we focus how I want it to. Yeah, that's better. Right there. That's where it's at. So in order for me to get to there, to reach that, I have to take this out the way. And that might be enough for me to squeeze my hand back there to get it. And the other one is, I believe, it's right here. I believe that's it right there. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with this master cylinder first. Start by removing this right here. That has 10 millimeter socket to get that. So I'm gonna remove this one first. Hold on, this is tight. After I take these bolts out, I like to spray them down with some WD-40, so go ahead and do that. Alright, so I got both of those bolts out and move those things to the side. So now I'm going to take this out and remove it just so I can move that cord out the way. So I'll probably just put that off to the side over here. So now, as you can see, I have a little bit more clearance than I had before. But I'm still gonna need a little bit more wiggle room. So, what am I gonna do? Oh, so there's a hook. There's a hook going through. Let me see if I turn my light on. That might help. So yeah, you see that pin going through that piece. So I'm gonna take that pin out and try to get this little line out the way. Hopefully it just slides out. Alright, so I'm having trouble because these things keep getting in my way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just twist this thing off. Just be cautious that if it's filled up with brake fluid, that it will be spilling out. So just be ready for that. Alright, got that out, and as you can see, it's dripping because it was full, but not too bad. Alright, so I just went ahead and took that whole tube off. This is the tube connected to the master cylinder. Yeah, see, it was connected there. I just took that out. Give me some more room. So what I did was I got my wrench, like a long wrench. This is my 3/4 wrench, and I put it at the end of it. As you can see, I put it in the end, inside that hoop. And I just got my hammer and started hitting it out, and it finally came loose. I was probably trying to figure out how to get this out of here for like 20 minutes, but I finally got that out. So, all right, so now that I got the pin out the way, I'm gonna remove this line All you gotta do is just jiggle it a little bit, pull it at the same time, and it should come right out. So now I'm gonna go to the inside now. I'll go inside and go underneath here where the clutch pedal's at. And you can see these two bolts. And these might be 10 millimeter. They might be 12, but I want to say they're 10. So I'm gonna see. I got my 10 on here already. So maybe, hold on. All right, so it's definitely 12. So let me go grab my 12 millimeter. All right, so I got my 12 millimeter socket with me. So there's two bolts. There's one right here, as you can see. There's one on the other side, right there. So I'm gonna get those out. And there's this pin right here. Let me just, I should be able to do that right now. All right, so with this pin, what I think you gotta do is you gotta push it up. So let's push it up, and then push it up first. And as you can see, there's like a hook where it'll grab. So I gotta use two hands to hold one side open as I slide it out. So I got those bolts out, I got the pin out. So the only thing I gotta do now is push this through, right? Push this through. Got that. Slide this down and push it out. So it should come out. And so then we're gonna go back on the other side to the top and take it out. All right, I got it out. So that one's done. Now, this was the master. So now let's move on to the slave. And this looks like it's pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna start off by taking those bolts out. They look like they might be like 13, maybe 14, but I'll double check. All right, so that is actually a 12. So I got that on there. Let me get my double extension so I don't have to get irritated, because I get irritated easily. Just get these bolts off. Get those two bolts off. All right, so I got the bolts out. So now I'm gonna just take this out. So I'm gonna push it in to the left to compress that little spring thing and then pull it out. Just like that. I did my research and I saw that I gotta get the roller pin out, but it's stuck in there. I can't get it out. Try to use this little tool right here, and that wasn't working. I have a punch somewhere, I can't find it, but I don't even know if that will work because I can't really get no leverage on there. I mean, I could lay it down like against this part and then try to hammer it with a punch, but like I said, I don't have my punch with me. I have to go look for it, probably in storage. So what I'm gonna do is, I got my blade off my hacksaw. And you can see I already started. So I'm gonna just saw it around the bottom part, and then I'm gonna saw it down the sides right here on this side, and then on the same thing on the other side, and then I'll get a screwdriver and pop it out. Hopefully I can just slide it out that way. So that's what I'm doing right now. All right, so I cut that angle like I said, and more of that thing is exposed. Matter of fact, let me set this down. Try to get it. Oh, there you go. Got it out. So that was a pain in the ass. That was a pain, but I got it. So now all I have to do is wait for these parts to come in the mail, and then I'll be good to go. Alright. Alright, so I forgot to start recording, but the new part came in. I got it in there for the most part in a little roller pin. I had to hammer it down in there. So basically what I did was I laid this against the backing of this just to have some, you know, some leverage, and I hammered it down in there. It was I'm doing it from this angle, so it was like turned, but I turned it straight because I gotta put it in there. So now the problem I'm having is trying to get this rubber part, or this part right here, against inside here, because obviously it won't fit straight in. And I'm trying to push it down in there, and it's really tight. So what I've been, all right, so I got it out in there, and what I did was I had to get on this side, and I had to use 2 hands to press it down, because one hand I wasn't strong enough to put it down with one hand. So I had to use 2 hands to really push it down in there. Now I gotta straighten that out. Hopefully you don't tear that up. So yeah, now I'm gonna try to straighten this out, line these bolts up, and hopefully we're done. All right, that's done. I got it in there. Now, time for the master cylinder. I'm still waiting for it to get in the mail, but that's next, master cylinder. And then I'll be done. After I bleed it out, I'll be done. Alright, so my piece finally came in the mail. I'm gonna go ahead and put this together and put it in. Alright, so it's pretty straightforward. Put this piece, the gasket, on. Slide it right on there. Next, I'm gonna take this nut off. Alright. Then you want to screw this in here. Hold on, let me put this in my pocket so I don't drop it. Screw that in there. Now, how far down, I don't know, but let's just get it in there. Oh, I guess it goes all the way down until it stops twisting. All right. I'm gonna take this cap out. That's where the tube goes. There's a little gasket piece in there. Let me take that out. I can just use quick. Oh, you're stick. All right, so let me take this little gasket piece out. Damn it. Glad I saw where it landed. Alright, there you go. You don't want to lose that. You need that. So that's going to go on the brake line. There's already one on there from last time. I didn't take it off, but obviously you want to replace it. So I'm going to do that. And go ahead and just slide this in here. You want to make sure that's facing up, obviously. Slide that down in there. So, as you can see, I got the piece in there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I already switched out the gasket, but the gasket that I showed you, that little rubber piece goes on the end of this this brake line right there. As you can see, it's already on there, so you just gotta shove that down in there. Alright, so now I'm gonna go back around to the front, and I wanna put these screws back in. I left them there the whole time, so I didn't lose them. Let me turn this light on. And yep, see, put the screws back in. I'm gonna hand tighten it first, obviously, and remember this is a 12, so make sure you grab your 12mm socket. Tighten this down with my 12mm. Alright, so I got the screws in there. Let's put this back in here. Let's line this up. Line this up and put this pin. I'm gonna start and put it on this side. There you go, push it through. Got that, all right. Put that back in there. All right, that's back in there. Now let's go back to the front. And now we're gonna grab this pin and just put it back in there. So this pin is just as hard to put in as it is to take out. So what I'm doing right now is I got this rod. This is for my jack, my floor jack, and I pushed it against the end. As you can see, it's pressed up against the end, and I get my hammer. I'm gonna tap the end of it, and hopefully that presses it in. So got my hammer. I'm gonna tap on the end of this, and hopefully it slides in. No, it's not doing it. Wait, there you go. All right, it's in there. So now I'm about to start putting this stuff back together. So I'm gonna put this back in here, close that top, and I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna attach the end of this line all the way down to that white piece. As you can see it back there, you know, that's where it goes. Yep, right there. All right, so I got the hose back in. As you can see, got the hose back on there. So now I'm about to hook this back up. Yeah, this goes right here. All right, got your 10mm bolt. Put it down in there. All right, just make sure you go back here, and you can't even see it. All the shit's in the way. Hold on. That fuel line, make sure you put that, there you saw it. Let's put this fuel line back inside those little brackets. I'm trying to do this with one hand, it's just annoying, but you see what I'm doing. Put this back in there. All right, secure that fuel line. Put this hose back where this goes. All right, now that's how you change the clutch master cylinder and the clutch slave cylinder. I tried to bleed it out so I could show you the complete process from start to finish, but I think I'm having some hydraulic issues, because even though, let me show you, even though I changed the you know, both of those cylinders, I'm not getting any action with this. Like when I push the clutch down, this part is supposed to, you know, go in. But as you can see, I push the clutch all the way down, it still goes down to the floor. And then we do it from the outside. But every time I push the clutch down, that thing isn't moving. Let me show you. Yeah, I just pumped it like 10 times and it didn't move. So from what I was told, that's probably some like hydraulic issues, possibly. So I'm gonna take this to the shop and see if they can figure that out. But that's how you change the clutch master cylinder and the clutch slave cylinder. And this is my 1998 Honda Accord. So I hope you liked the video. Hope this helped out.